Okay, here's some things, some additional things I want to show you with the driver setup. First is tee height. So when we're hitting a ball off the tee, obviously, we're swinging above the ground. Okay, so when we start with that club resting on the ground, it should not be in a position where the sweet spot is directly behind the golf ball. Why is that? Well, I got 3 rubber tees here to get this ball really propped up. So this is a super high tee height. I wouldn't recommend to anybody teeing it up this high. So, but I want to demonstrate something for you. If I set this club up and I rest it on the ground where the sweet spot is directly behind and underneath that golf ball, and then I swing through and this club comes above the ground, look what's going to happen here. I'm going to hit it on the neck of the club. So as that club comes through higher, it also moves outward. You see that? So if I'm going to hit this ball off the tee, I want to start with this club so far inside that ball. So as I come through higher, you see how it also goes out. That's why you see Bryson DeChambeau set with the driver way inside the ball when it's on the ground, so that when he swings through above the ground, it puts the sweet spot on the ball. So normally, players will have about half the ball above the crown or 3/4 of the ball above the crown. So let's put it a little bit in the toe. And now when it comes through higher, it also goes more out, and then you're going to put the sweet spot on the ball. Okay? So let's get that driver set up so the toe of the driver is opposite the ball. All right, let's not set it up on the sweet spot. Very important. That's just a little detail that I've seen help a lot of players make more solid contact. Okay, the next thing that I want to talk about is shaft tilt. So what do I mean by shaft tilt? I'm talking about this shaft that's set up. So if you're watching me from face on, should it be leaning forward, straight, or leaning back? We want the driver straight or leaning back. Now we do that because we're trying to sweep the ball off the tee. We don't want to be leaning forward and hitting down. A lot of players have success when they have the shaft leaning backwards. Now what happens though when I lean the shaft backwards, you see how it shuts the face. Now that can throw players off. So what I want you to do is just twist the face back square. Very simple. So now I have my shaft leaning backwards, but the face is square. Okay, that's all I want you to do, because I don't want you setting up to the ball with that face looking shut. You're going to make compensations that you don't need to. Okay, so if you like the shaft leaning backwards, you can see how that closes the face slightly. Just make a little adjustment with your hands, get that club face square. Now the next thing I want to show you is the shoulders. The shoulders, couple things going on with the shoulders. One, with that ball being forward, when you reach over with your right arm, you can see how the shoulders typically get open. This is very common for amateur players that play it forward. They're trying to hit up on it. They reach over with that right arm. Now we're super open. You got to kick that right shoulder back, having this ball forward in your stance. You see that? Kick it back. That's going to help you square up the shoulders. Okay, this is very important. To kick it back, what I don't want you to do is go into mega tilt. Okay, this is a mistake amateurs make because, again, they're trying to hit up on that ball to maximize distance. But I see players go into mega tilt, and now they make this super flat shoulder turn, okay, or they get stuck on their back foot. They don't want to hit the ground, so they jump up. A lot of mistakes can happen when you over-exaggerate that tilt. All right, so we got the ball forward. That can promote open shoulders, so we get a little bit shoulder back without going too low. Now we're squared up with the shoulders. Okay, very important to understand how ball position can influence shoulder alignment. Now the next nuance that I want to go over is this spacing. Since we're sweeping this ball off the tee, okay, we're coming in at a slightly shallower, flatter plane. Now the driver, because it's shallower, flatter, that takes care of it. But we're also sweeping off a tee, so we have to make sure we're not coming down on this golf ball, even with this flatter lie angle. So what's a good way to improve this shallower, more inside out path? we're going to stand a little bit further away with the driver, meaning my hands relative to my body, okay, further away. The shaft, because it's 45 inches, naturally will get me further away, but I'm talking about the hands relative to body. So right about here is good for irons. You see I got a little bit of space, but now that promotes more of up and down, hitting down on the ball. I'm going to get it further away, so I got about 2 fists of space. Now that allows me to swing more around my body and have that flatter plane so I can sweep it off a tee. Plus, this club head is swinging super fast. There's a lot of force, that outward pull on my hands, because that club head, the weight of the club is whipping around my body. So my hands are naturally going to move more out, okay? And so if we start with them a little bit further out, plus we get the toe behind the ball, that additional slight out with the hands, okay, we're in a good position to allow that to happen. Okay, so those are some important keys, very important keys there with the driver. Okay, that's going to really help you guys get into a good setup position so you can start hitting better drives.